This is the third Maimer in the series of 3 Maimorim that the Rebbe said that year. As he says in the parentheses, Maimer Gimel is the third Maimer, Tavshich Avdalad. Again, we will, maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do this by every note, but every Hebrew footnote is incorporating things from the other 2 Maimorim to fill in the blanks, especially since we don't have the other 2 Maimorim either in full or even partially. I will also go quickly through this as basic things that we've learned many times. I've come to my garden, my sister, my bride. And the one whose yard site it is, in other words, the Friedrich Rebbe explains, in the Hemshech of Mamorim that he gave out for Yud Shvat, he said, Legani, in the Medrash, it's brought down to my garden, to my special place, to my special meeting place, my unique place. The place that I was there initially and primarily, and my primary level was there initially. The main place of the Shechina was down here below, and like the Rebbe explains, the main part of the Shechina was down here below. Initially, before the sin of the Eitz Hadas, the Shechina was down here in Ganei. And afterwards, through the sin of the Eitz Hadas and the sins that followed it, they got rid of the Shechina from below to above until all the different sins pushed it all the way up to the 7th heaven. And afterwards, tzaddikim came and drew down the Shechina from above to below. Every single one of the tzaddikim through their particular avodah that they did. Until Moshe Rabbeinu came to Ashvi, that he was the 7th of all of these tzaddikim. And all the 7th are special and favored. And he drew it down from the first firmament to the earth. That's the main avodah. The Rebbe says in the Maimer Tavshin Yud Aleph that it's not important so much to go through the rest of them, because the main point is what's doing here in this earth. So therefore, that's the main idea, that's the main avodah of a Yid, bringing the Shechina down here below on this earth, not about this rakia, that rakia, higher rakia, lower rakia. What matters the most is dirb tachtoinim in this world. This is what it says in the Pasuk, tzaddikim will inherit the earth, and they will dwell forever upon it. What does it mean they will dwell forever upon it? So he says, Hainu, top of page Gimel, shetzadikim mamshichim b'chinas shoichin admorim v'kodesh. The tzadikim are drawing down the level of the everlasting one that's whole, exalted and holy. So he says in Aleph that this is an addition not just to the tzaddikim that we spoke about earlier, the 7 tzaddikim from Avram through Moshe Rabbeinu, but tzaddikim in all the generations until even va'amich kulam tzaddikim, the Rebbe says in Aleph on the bottom, that the amich kulam tzaddikim means each one of us. The Rebbe is being very inclusive. It's not just that tzaddikim yishkinu Allah, that special people. Every single yid falls into this category of the tzaddikim that yishkinu Allah. That should be revealed down here below, second line on page Gimel. And how did they bring the Shechina down? How did they make sure it should be revealed down here? Why they avidos and miskafia through the avoid of sublimating the klipa and miskafia, but unless from sublimating the klipa, they come to transforming it. Through these 2 avoidas, the glory of the Kuchabrichu rises up in all the worlds. Istalik Daika, specifically it says rises up. Instead of saying it reveals, it's becoming nimshach. That idea of Istalik Shuinin Shagili Nailo B'Yasa that Rebbe explains in other Mamorim, that in other Basal Legani Mamorim especially, that Istalik is a term that's used when the revelation is so powerful that it seems like an elevation, but really we're drawing it down. That's the general idea that I will dwell amongst them. There are two ideas, two explanations. V'shochanti, what does it mean? I dwell. Hainu ha-mishkan migdash. It's talking about that I'm dwelling amongst them. It's talking about Hashem's dwelling in the Mishkan and in the base of Migdash. Shisham hoise iker shchina betachtoinim lachre binyan ha-mishkan ha-migdash. That over there was the main place where the Shechina was down here below after the building of the Mishkan and the Migdash. Ubesaycham, and the idea of in them, which is the second idea, it doesn't say I will dwell in it, but I will dwell in them. That Hashem resides and dwells within each and every one. Through the avoid of each and every yid, becomes in the yid, the Ashra of the Shechina, not just in the Mishkan and the Migdash. The Yishkin they will be over there, they will rest over there, the level of La'ad and forever. Noise of Lakaktis, in addition to the fact. That through the avoid of Yidden in general, we make the Shechina come down the Mishkan and the Migdash. In addition to that, there's each individual person's avoida makes the Shechina rest within him. This is also the idea that one of the main avoiders in the Mishkan is the idea of karbonas. Why dafka karbonas? There's many different avoiders in the base of Mikdash. One had to light the menorah. One had to put out the lechem aponim, etc. So why do we call that one of the main avoiders? The pirish carbon huakiruv shebein amatav amayla. The explanation of carbon is the closeness that comes from between that which is below and that which is above. In other words, a person and Hashem. Like the Rebbeinu B'chai writes in the name of the Zohar. Then the Rebbe continues in bringing up and explaining the Maimer until we're going to get to Eis Yudalet Dvar Maimer. Mamshel Bar Maimer and the Maimer, the Frierdiker Rebbe in Basel Legani continues. Sheklolus in Nam Mishkan, the general idea of the Mishkan is the way it says, Vasisas Akroshim El Mishkan Ate Shittim, you'll make the boards for the Mishkan. Standing Shittim wood, the Shittim, Lashon Shtus, that the Shittim is an expression of foolishness. The Shita, Pirush and Etiyah, the idea of Shita means turning away, moving away from the path. Turning away from the straight path. And where does that come from? How does a person move away from the path? This comes about because of the shtus of Klippa, top of page Yudalet. A person does not transgress an Aveda unless a spirit of folly enters it. The avoid is to transform it and to make it into boards for the Mishkan, beams, supports for the Mishkan. That's also the exact usage of the word kroshim. The kedesh voice is sheker. The word kedesh is the same letters like the word sheker, meaning false, untruth, a lie. Why is that so? Because falsehood is meaning, we're talking here about klippa, which is the opposite of Hashem, which is the truth, the everlasting truth of Hashem. Hainu, this means, why do we make a kedesh out of a sheker? Shetzorech lafik a sheker oil. We need to transform the falsehood of the world. V'lasem and a kedesh mishkan of migdash. We need to transform it into a mishkan of migdash. And the Rebbe brings, there's a Maimer Chazal that says mishkan dikri migdash and migdash dikri mishkan. We find that the mishkan is called by the term migdash and vice versa. So it's interchangeable terms. By days and nasa mishkan lo yizbarach, through transforming the falsehood of the world and making it into keresh, a mishkan. Nasa mishkan lo yizbarach shbeit yashras hashchina v'shchanti. We make a home, we make a dwelling place for the Eibishter, that over there will be the resting of the Shechina, as it says v'shchanti. So the Rebbe now says that when you're dealing with shtus, you need to fight shtus with shtus. Line 10. Since the avoid is to repair and to fix up and to transform the shtus that's lower than intellect, V'avoida tzorich aliyos ba'oifen hamasim le'inyan hashetzrichim l'saken. That when you need to do an avoida, it needs to be appropriate to the matter that you need to fix. How they move and it's understood. Shloi maspik avoida al pi seichel, it's insufficient. An avoida that's based on intellect. El tzarich lius avoida shalom mailam etam v'das. There has to be an avoida that's beyond reason and beyond knowledge, beyond understanding. In other words, since we introduced before that a person does something wrong, it's because of shtus. So the only way to counter that is also by going beyond intellect. Just like this is not an intellectual way of doing things, so too we need to go in a way that's beyond intellect as well, as the Rebbe will go on to explain.